All right. Hello, everyone. My name's Des of UCLA Radio, and I have over here the PTR Rascals.
Hello.
Thank you guys for coming. Do you guys just want to introduce yourselves? So,
Hi, I'm Tarek.
Hi, my name is Isaac.
Hello, I'm Joseph.
I'm Dom.
all right. So,
And we are the Peachtree Rascals.
We are the Rascals. The Peachtree Rascals.
yeah. Thank you guys for being here. First of all, you guys started off as high school friends. You guys started off as high school friends from San Jose. I mean, yeah. So how was that meeting story of meeting together? Was it just through classes? Was it through sports? What was it through?
It was through classes and mutual friends, water polo sports, basketball, and Isaac, you wanna?
Go ahead.
Well, so I became friends with Joseph, and me, Joe, and Dom were at the same high school since freshman year, but Isaac didn't come until his sophomore year. Yeah, his sophomore year, and then he joined the basketball team, and some of our friends were on the basketball team, and we got introduced to that, and that's an important part of the story because Isaac has been making music since he was 12. Since he was a little boy, he's been making music and putting music out on YouTube, SoundCloud, and all that stuff. And at our school, when we became friends with him, it was he was the first person we saw that created his own art and put it out. And he was even selling CDs at school and stuff like that. So it kind of one by one inspired all of us to try to get more creative. And I started freestyling with Isaac after school, and then I started recording some stuff on at his little studio in his room, and then Joe would come in and play some guitar, sing some melodies, and then after high school was when Dom started producing, and that was when we kind of took it more serious and started to figure out the sound that we have and more of a direction, and yeah.
So cool. So you said Isaac was the first one to make music. I remember seeing in some interview it was off YouTube beats and stuff like that. Do you think that's kind of where your freestyle posts are inspired from? Kind of just you bringing that back, but just in a new and improved way?
Yeah, I mean, YouTube beats are a vital part of my life, dating back to when I was 12, 13, 14. I didn't have an in-house producer like I did once Dom started working with us, so it was just kind of me in my room without any ability to produce beats or anything. So I would just find what I can on the internet, rap over that, and that's something that's never gone away. I still go on YouTube and write shit, and then I bring the stuff that I write over the YouTube beats into the sessions, and then so it's still a very important part of my process.
That's really cool. And then you said that Dom started learning how producing, and then you guys said in a different interview that's where it really kind of picked up when Dom started to learn how to produce. That's
when, to me, in my head, I kind of set everything to one side and was okay, we're doing this. I just needed 100% commitment from more than myself, kind of to boost my confidence as well. So going into it with someone that I knew I would be working with every night after work, after he would get off work, doesn't matter if it was 6 p.m. or 11 p.m. Sometimes we'd start at midnight, but almost every night we were in the studio getting our repetitions in and improving the craft.
And to add on, when Dom started producing and us working with Dom, when it was just me and Isaac, we would write our own stuff and then put it out, and we wouldn't overthink too much. Not to say that Dom overthinks, but when when we started working with Dom, he was way more picky and would be give us honest feedback, this part sucks, this part is good, you should try building off of this one, or maybe if you start with this part of the melody and take it somewhere else, and that kind of feedback really pushed us to get better faster, and gave us that different mentality and different approach to music than when we were doing it. And it's more than just having fun and being creative, but really trying to make the best possible music that we can, that all of us And yeah, it was very important, and Dom's a huge part of just the PTR Rascals sound.
Dom, do you think there was a specific, do you have a specific memory or an instance that you hold where it's kind of okay, this is where I'm gonna just go for it and just learn everything?
Yeah. I failed the class when I was going to De Anza. I failed statistics, and so that's kind of like really put a lot of fear into my head, and was like, fuck, like I'm getting old. I need to really figure out what I want to do with my life. And so I lied to my dad and then asked him to buy me a laptop for school, knowing that I was gonna use it for music. Yeah. But yeah, it was after I failed statistics was for sure when I decided to take music like 100% serious.
And you mentioned about something about the Peachtree sound and how I think I saw somewhere you described it as rascal pop. And there was, and I also know that you guys like did music in like a 10 by 10 shed. You bought one at first, but it was all aluminum, so you would have died in there. So you switched to another one, and you had limitations, but you had just you guys basically in this small space. Do you think the limited options help you create the sound that you have now, or do you think that with more options you could have expanded it even more?
Probably, honestly, because we just had like, first off, we worked off of Logic X Pro. I think that's what you guys have right here.
Yeah.
All stock sounds, so we're already limited to like not a lot. So yeah, I think it did, because not a lot of.
I think with the limitations of just having stock plugins, it just made us have to be like more creative, more out of the box, and really rely on like our individual great ideas and like collaborating with each other as well.
And like we also knew like from the beginning that like when we start to grow as artists and like our resources start to grow too, that we can reach, because like the one thing that we didn't like about the limitations is like we would make a song, and even when it's like done and we do everything that we could do, we can like hear like, oh, we can add this, we can add that, but we just didn't have the experience or the resources to do so. So we just kind of had to like ride it out for the time being until we like knew that the day was coming when we would have more resources to like really bring out like the best and all of our ideas in our heads to life. And yeah, so it was fun, but it would have like, there would be moments where we'd be a little frustrated because we were like, we know it could be better, but we just don't know what it is or how to do it. And it's fun though.
That's really cool. So I guess like the Rascal Pop sound, to me, it's very nostalgic, very like happy and stuff like that. I pulled this comment because I thought it was really funny on the Mariposa music video. The top comment said, "This song makes you want to drive normally in GTA," which I thought was super funny. I guess how would you guys describe your sound if you had to use like a setting or something like that?
Like a setting?
Or
Like
anything
one
in
of those
general.
phrases? It'd be like leaving Safeway in Santa Barbara after stealing 6 cases of Mountain Dew, and the sun is about at the 70% mark, and it's on its way down, and the color starting to slowly shift between pink and blue in the sky, and you're just in the car with your best buds, golden retriever in the back, just barking outside the window, and like crack open one of them Mountain Dews, and everything, all your problems go away.
That's so good. I love it. So you guys, along with being very musical, you guys have very visual. Like you guys know what you want visually, which is something I really like about your group. You have George, who's not here, who just focuses on the visual. Would you say you guys have any visual influences?
That's a question for George that I couldn't name his individual, the people he looked up to, but if you guys can, please do.
I mean, like, one thing that like kind of created our visual side of the PTR Rascals was like we would have these big ideas early on, and we would like kind of plan it out, and we can listen to the music and imagine these full production videos, but then we realize like we're broke and we don't have any equipment and we don't have any resources besides like a camera and a shitty stabilizer and a shitty tripod. And like most of the times in the early days, like we would be sitting in a parking lot or like wherever we would hang out, at the shed or something, or at one of our houses, and we'd be like just sitting there like thinking about all the things we could do with the video. And then we're like, the sun would start to set and we're like, well, we can't do that, so let's just go outside and shoot something right now in front of the sunset. And just like it kind of created this like this world for people watching us like that weren't around us, and like it just brought them into our world. And just like it was more authentic, more original, like because it was just where we were, where we would hang out, and just us being us.
And that kind of goes to the point of limitations kind of molding the sound and the visuals, what he just said.
Yeah, I've noticed that in a bunch of your older videos, like in Glide or like Summer, it's kind of just like you guys just like hanging around, just like fucking around. And this is just a random question. Are we ever getting another rap verse from you, like on Summer?
For me?
Yeah.
Well, if yeah, rap what? Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Sure.
You heard it here first.
Whatever the song needs, I'll give it.
So another part about you guys that I find very unique is you guys all come from different cultures and stuff like that. Do you kind of feel like an added weight on your shoulders to like kind of like represent like your culture and where you come from, or do you kind of see it as like an added confidence to be like, okay, I can showcase like how I grew up and where I come from and stuff like that?
I feel like it's a bit of both, and it's kind of like I don't know. I feel like early on we kind of made it clear within ourselves that like within music and within PTR Rascals, we wanted to separate that, and we didn't want to like you know have that kind of, like you said, like that weight and that thought in our head to kind of like steer our creativity and our motivation, even though it's like a big part of us and like, you know, our families and who we are. But I feel like it translates more just through the lyrics and through the songs and through the visuals, and just us being us is just like our way of sharing our experience of who we are, you know, kids of immigrants living first generation in America and California, and just like share our own unique experience.
At the end of the day, I think like for most kids of immigrants, you really just don't want to disappoint your parents or like lead a fucked up life knowing what they had to give up. So yeah.
Kind of speaking on that, so you guys just came off of Asia's tour not too long ago, and you guys got to go to the Philippines. And Joseph, that was a really cool experience for you because you got to see a bunch of extended family. You got to bring your mom there who hasn't been back for a long time. How was like that, just like being there for that and bringing your best friends along for the ride? How was that feeling?
Honestly, it was just a really powerful experience for me. Very emotional. Just my whole life, I never met that side of my family just because my mom immigrated to the U.S. to provide for her family in the Philippines, and she never got a chance to go back. So just for me, just to go back and perform in the Philippines, a place where my dad and my mom would always talk about, like just to perform there for the fans out there, it kind of made, the emotion was just so much. Like there were times where I would like cry or like tear up, and honestly it was a beautiful experience.
That's really cool. I know you guys did like vlogs in Asia, so I kind of just like went down to each of them, tried to pick something out. So Tarek, you specifically said that as an artist, you have this feeling of like a void inside of you, which is partially the reason you create, and having that fan interaction helps fill that void. Is there any particular interaction that not only made you realize that that's filling that void for you, but filling that void for like the fan that's like connecting towards your music or something like that?
I immediately felt that reaction in our first stop in Japan. We did like a little pop-up shop at one of our friends' clothing stores, and like 20-30 fans came through, and just like meeting them and just seeing the appreciation they had for us and our music, and like literally everyone we met was crying and like giving us gifts and just like saying how much our music has helped them. And that's like one of those moments where you realize like it's like you trying to help yourself and trying to heal yourself is also going to translate to other people, and it's going to heal them too. And it's just like very fulfilling and really makes us like even more motivated and more happy and like more just content with what we're doing.
That's really cool. That's just really thoughtful. Dom, you said that you had that feeling of when you performed at Asia, you had that same feeling from when you performed like your first show ever. What was there like a specific, I guess like what? How would you describe that emotion? I guess like being on that stage for first time in a while.
Very euphoric. Everything is happening like really fast, and you're kind of just, at least for me, I practice the piano a lot, and so I'm really familiar with the chords. So it was kind of just like second nature, and I was kind of just taking it all in, not even realizing what I was like doing and stuff. But yeah, very very euphoric for sure. It's a beautiful feeling.
That's really cool. And then Isaac, in your Asia vlog, you said that when you're touring or if you're in like an unknown territory, it feels like you're being in the woods with like your team or like your tribe that you said. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, if you guys were actually stuck in the woods, who would get lost first?
George.
George.
George would definitely get lost first. It would be tougher if you're asking between us four. I'm really good at keeping track of having like a buddy at all times in those type of scenarios.
Yeah.
And yeah, definitely George. 100% George. Like no question. He's number one out of anybody in the house. Our friends, extended friends, like George would be the one to get lost first.
That's really fun. When he's not here to defend himself. Just so you guys just yesterday released new merch, which you are wearing, which is really beautiful. What was like kind of like the design inspiration behind it? Was there like any specifics, or you just kind of just like whatever you wanted?
We just wanted like a really nice garment that fits like really nice, and we went to Los Angeles Apparel warehouse and tried on some of their stuff, and this was one of the garments we tried on, and it's fucking sexy.
Yeah, so I used to have this crew neck that I thrifted that was kind of like up here, and then it had stripes on the waistband and the wrist. And originally we wanted to create something like that, but since it had to be a custom garment, we couldn't make it happen in time to release. So we went to LA Apparel, the warehouse, checked out everything. This shit was amazing, and we're like, all right, let's do it. And then we made it, and it cost a lot to make. It cost a lot.
We were inspired for sure by like vintage clothing and stuff, and so this one is it's a large, but it's like oversized, and it's like it just fits nice with her at the waist too. Like it like crunches up and stuff. It's beautiful.
Little modeling moment.
Yeah.
Go buy it now.
Buy it now.
And another thing to like to add on for our merch, like we wanted to approach it the same way we approach our music and our videos, and try to like go for a timeless feeling, timeless look, and like something that like when people buy it, it makes them feel what I hope our music makes them feel, or our videos make them feel. And like that's one of the main things, is just trying to like find the best quality, something that we all love, so we know that the fans will love too.
Speaking of things that are like timeless and classic and stuff like that, a lot of people first discovered you guys through your song Mariposa, which was extremely huge on TikTok, and it's still around on TikTok. And like people, I see like your TikTok of you trying to remember the dance like every few days and stuff like that. I guess like when that song first blew up, what was that initial reaction that you guys felt? Was it like a oh shit like type of moment, or was it kind of just like a this is really cool and just like let it ride?
It was a little bit of a oh shit kind of moment, because of like how fast it was from like when we dropped our first song in 2018, and we dropped Mariposa in 2019, and then like towards the beginning of 2020 was when it started to really pick up pace. But it was like during COVID, during the lockdown, bless you. It was during COVID, during the lockdown, when like, you know, we just like our first tour just got canceled, and we're stuck in the house, and all our plans got canceled, and it's just us in the house, just like watching people on TikTok make videos to our song, and the numbers go up. And it was very like, we knew it was going to happen, because that was our intention creating from the very beginning, was like to reach a certain level of success where, you know, like we can hopefully support ourselves and our families. But it was just exciting how fast it kind of came.
When it was blowing up and doing a lot of numbers, it was like there was like two sides of the thing, where I was like super excited, super happy, like this is crazy, this is insane. And then the other half of me, which is like keep it cool, just all part of the plan. And also like when it blew up and shit, it was during COVID. So I feel like us having a song blow up versus another artist having a song blow up is a different experience, and I feel like we were unique to that time period and any artist that had hits during that time period, because we had to navigate only via social media when the song was at its peak, and then we couldn't even play a show till a year and a half or 2 years after Mariposa had came out. So it was like it was a weird experience that, yeah.
You guys have been through a lot. You guys kind of went through like a rebuild with your team and stuff. You guys have posted that on Instagram. Do you think being high school friends allowed you to kind of like persevere through that, like experience where a lot of artists might just like fall and just like...
Yeah, last interview we had, I don't remember what it was, but they asked a question about like how we work so well with so many people and going through whatever, and Dom answered it's because we were all friends previous to this venture, and I think that holds a lot of weight because we built the foundation, we learned each other's behaviors, like what makes each other tick, like we knew that before we even started working together with a goal in mind. So when we did get together with a goal in mind, it was kind of like seamless, and yeah.
And I feel like just kind of like we all want the same thing, and I think just our determination to get to the place where we like wanted to get to from the beginning, which we've like, I still think we're getting closer every year, but we still like, we have a long way to go. But I think just that determination to get to that place like makes all the experience we had, like all the ups and downs, like we just look back at it and try to figure out like where we went wrong before and try to improve on our communication. And like he said, like we've been friends since before high school, so it's not hard to communicate, but it is like easy to forget to communicate sometimes. So just like figuring out like times for us to talk and like really like share how we're feeling and like what we don't like about what's going on right now or what's been going on, and how we can, help each other to improve, and kind of like, if someone needs help on one side of something, then like someone else is there to help pick up the slack. And that's kind of like the main thing, is trying to figure out how we can all work and maximize like, what we're doing to reach our goals.
With you guys knowing like each other's like behaviors and stuff like that, are there still even any disputes between you guys? And if so, like how do you go through that? I think last time we talked, it was like something about like a FIFA games, like stuff like that.
I mean, we still have arguments here and there, just about like whether it's songs or like parts of songs or videos or cover arts or merch. Like we all have very strong opinions, but at the end of the day, we all like want the best possible thing, and we know that the best possible thing is where like the majority of us, because we all have different tastes and different opinions, but if we can meet somewhere, then we know like that's the one, because like it's something that makes all of us happy, and like then we know it's a complete product. But we just vote now. Like if it gets to like a really split decision, we just vote. And like the other day was the first time we like posted on our close friends on Instagram. Like we had 2 cover art ideas, and like we were split, and we were in the house like split. Everyone's like sharing like why they think this cover art should be the one, why they think this cover art should be the one. And George, who's like the one behind the camera, is like set like this is the one, blah blah blah. But when we voted, like he lost, and just to try to like say that it's not just us in the house, we posted on our close friends, and then he lost like 35-1. So yeah, we just vote.
Nice. So we're at Rendezvous, the dining hall, and that's the name of your most recent release, and it's kind of ushering a new era for the PTR Rascals. And Joseph, I believe that's like the first time that you were behind the camera or producing and directing. So how was that process for that music video specifically?
It was super fun. I mean, my whole life I've been really into movies, like going to the movie theaters. That's something that my family would always do as an activity. So like just being able to put my knowledge of like how the music video should go or like shots that should be made. Like it was really a fun experience, especially doing it with George, who's also passionate about it. I think it was just really fun to me.
And then, so you guys just announced the tour, first U.S. headlining tour, super exciting. What are you most excited about, considering that you've been on tour in like overseas in Asia and stuff, but what makes it so special about being in the U.S., going on tour around all these dates with amazing opening act artists as well?
Well, first of all, we haven't seen most of our U.S. audience. Like, we've only been able to perform in California, New York, and then festivals here and there. So to go city by city, having our own headline show is going to be a beautiful feeling. And also, we're going to be in a car all together for 27 days. So that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, and like, I don't know, just the feeling of performing, like we've grown to really fall in love with it, and it makes us appreciate like our own music a little more, because after a while, like I know we don't really listen to our stuff that we've put out. Like, we're listening more to like the stuff that's coming out or that's been coming out more recently, bless you. But like going and performing in front of fans that we've never performed to, especially when you have a song like Mariposa that people still like comment about and like still have not seen 5 years after it came out, it makes you like, it takes you back to the place where you made it, and takes you back to the place and the feeling of like what would it be like if people heard our music, and you get to experience that. So yeah, it's just exciting. And like you said, like going in a car, we've never done a road trip tour.
Gotcha.
And yeah, so it's going to be a new experience from that side too, and just try to figure out how we can manage like our health and our sleep, and like just to maintain, because it's like show after show after show while we're driving every night. So it's going to be a interesting and fun experience.
That's really cool. All right, so I just have some like fun questions just like near the end. Isaac, I think this is your line in the song Hi With Ya. You said my team's strong like an O-line. With that being said, if you guys were a quarterback, who out of the group are you trusting to block for you, and who are in the group are you not trusting to block for you?
I'll take Tarek and Joe on the line because they're shorter and like more stable. Dom's better like as a wideout. I would want Dom as my receiver because he has longer legs and he's really good at catching footballs. And George, oh man, I love you, George, but he'd be a liability on the field.
Tarek's side, I was crazy when he said he's short so he can.
No, like lower center of gravity is better for,
That is true. And then also, since you guys are ushering this new era for the Rascals, or PTR Rascals, I should say, how would your Not a Critic reviews?
You're crazy.
How would that
You're
usher in the new era?
Crazy.
I had to do my.
That
research.
was hell. What the hell?
What was it? Last semester of college, you had to put something out.
Yeah. Did I talk about that in an interview? Or
Yeah, with B-sides, I think, a long time ago. It was like 3 years ago or something.
Yeah. Well, when I was in that class and had the little review thing, I was doing that to get credits for a class, and that was the semester I already knew we were dropping out. So I was writing the reviews in a way that wasn't too inflammatory in case we ever became cool with the artists and the interviews would get brought up like they are right now. I mean, the articles would get brought up like they are right now. But what was the question? How would it go?
How would that like side of you introduce this new era for PTR Rascals?
Oh. After years of going through many hardships and dealing with a lot of people who didn't have their best interests at heart, the PTR Rascals are back with a brand new year full of music, new single each month, ranging from genres to hip-hop to R&B to funk to soul to pop. They are touching every horizon that needs to be touched, and you will be seeing a lot of the PTR Rascals in 2024.
And that's it. Thank you guys. Buy tickets to their tour right now. Buy their merch. Go out, support them. It's going to be awesome. Bye.